Hey guys, Keith here, back with another Bitcoin video. So it's been a while since I made any sort of video. Um, I've still been following the markets, of course, but there just wasn't anything that I really thought was, even worth making because we never really hit euphoria in 2025, which I am a little surprised, but at the same time, it's like it's so typical that it wouldn't actually happen. Um, and there's definitely reasons why it hasn't happened, but I think that in terms of the bull and bear market, because I've actually seen a lot of people start calling for the bear market, like it's actually it actually could have had like started like we could have started the bear market. I actually agree with some points that people have been making, but I think that there's still a chance, but this chance can only happen, like I'm only giving it until the end of 2025 because that's kind of what I've been saying this whole time. I thought it was going to happen in 2025, and I've always been saying 2026 was going to be a bear market, and I still stick by that. So if Bitcoin doesn't go like in the next end of the year rally like to 130, maybe even 140, something like that, then it's not going to happen this cycle. So that's my limit. December, whatever the last week of December is, that's basically my time frame. I think it's still possible that we do get one more push up, like one more higher high. I don't know how much higher, but we only have like 6 or 7 weeks for that to happen. So we'll see what happens, but I do think 2026 is going to be a bear market, and Bitcoin's probably going to drop like 50 to 70%, in my opinion. Somewhere between 50 and 70, probably like 70 some, because it always does that. I mean, it used to do 80s. Last bear market was 77, so I think it'll be like 70. I don't think it'll be higher than 77. I think it'll be between 70 and 77, somewhere between that. So that's a pretty big drop, but yeah, the guys, that's what I think. I'm not gonna come on here and just keep saying that I think things are just gonna like it's gonna happen because in my opinion, it was gonna happen in 2025, and it hasn't really happened in 2025. I mean, in terms of altcoins, like Bitcoin actually did go up to, 126, which is crazy, but we never really got alt season. So, I mean, I'll talk about it a little bit in this video, but I just want to talk about Bitcoin really because it all depends on Bitcoin. And what you can see here, this pink line, that's the 50-week SMA. So it's the simple moving average. So it is literally the past 50 week, you add them all up and you divide it by 50. That gives us the simple moving average. So the average price basically over the past 50 weeks is at around 103,212. And you can kind of see how it's been acting as support in the bull market and how it acts as resistance in the bear market. So when we're above it, we're basically good to go. We're basically doing well. We're in a bull market. But when we get below it, you can see when we get below it here, this was the bear market of 2022, right? And we were below it the whole time. You can kind of see how it played out this bull market. We got above it back in March of 2023. And we came kind of close to testing it here back in September 2023. Then we just moved up. We actually held it perfectly as support, in July and August of 2024. Then we got another move up. Then we held it again as support in April of 2025. And then we got another move up. And we're actually at it right now. We actually went under it last week. And it was something I was looking at was to see if we were going to get above it again. And we actually did close above it. So far, I think we're still okay because we are still above it. If we get below it and we close weeks below it, like at least, if we close 1 week below it, maybe it's not the worst because it could just be like a close below it and then like the next week we come back up. But if we did close 2 weeks below it, I really think that we're going to be in the bear market. And basically, you probably don't want to be holding crypto until the end of 2026 at that point. But you can kind of see we got below it here, came back up and retested it. We actually faked above it here. I still remember this week so well. We faked above it, and this week, let me zoom in a little bit. This red candle week where you can see we kind of faked above it on this candle, people were saying, we were back, the bull market was back on this week. And you got to realize this was coming off of the 2021, bull market. So we were only in here for like a few months. But yeah, it was a fake out and we dropped like to 15K. So yeah, you can even see it throughout its history. Basically, when we're above it, we're looking really good, and when we're below it, we're pretty bad. This was kind of just sideways here a little bit. We got the COVID drop here. Bear market, we were below it in 2018. Bull market, we were all above it. Bear market here in 2014, 2015, below it. So I think it's a pretty reliable indicator. It's pretty simple, but it seems to be, relatively accurate. So I think we're still looking okay. We could still get a bounce. We've been bouncing off of it this whole time. Even if you can't, you might not even count this one, but even these two, we held it pretty well. So let's see if we hold it again. If we do hold it, I think we could get one more higher high into the end of the year. This would be like, maybe a Christmas miracle rally or something. And that's it, in my opinion. We're going to get a bear market. So there's, a few other reasons why I think we might be in a bear market, or, incoming into a bear market. I don't want to make this video too long, but I will say that typically we find our peak in the third quarter or in the fourth quarter of the year, of the post-halving year. So in this case, it would be of, the fourth quarter of 2025, which we did do. October is the all-time high at, what do you mean is it at? All-time high at around 126,200 in October. That's the fourth quarter. What did we do in 2021, 4 years ago? All-time high at the time, all-time high at 69,000 in November. And the year before that, or the cycle before that, all-time high in December. That's the fourth quarter. And then, like you can see, the year after is always just Bitcoin going down. This was 84% drop. Last cycle was 77. So I think this cycle between 70 and 77, that basically puts Bitcoin around 37 to 29. Anywhere between 29 and 37K, I think Bitcoin can actually go, as crazy as that sounds. I know it seems like it's never going to happen, but I'm not kidding. When we were in this phase here, even when we were like down here in like 50K, 40K, I didn't think Bitcoin would come back down to 15, and it did. So what's really interesting about that range is that it actually hits this range of 32K, which you can see Bitcoin held it back in 2021, and then it couldn't get above it here in 2023. And by the way, these are the weekly candles, so this was a long time. This was from March 23 all the way to October 23. We couldn't get above this 32K level here. And I was saying at the time when we did get this huge candle, I thought we'd get one retest of 32 and then make this move. And we never got it. We kind of just went up. So if we did actually come back all the way down to 32K and find support here, and then, that's the bottom, and like we can find a base here, that'd be kind of, that'd be very interesting for that to happen. But yeah, guys, that's what I'm thinking right now. It's just to recap. I don't think it's completely over yet. I know the sentiment is getting kind of bad. I think there's a lot of reasons why you could say it is over, which is really sad to say, because we didn't get that euphoria phase. But we're still holding the 50, so we want to hold the 50, see if we get a bounce off of it. We could do it. I don't know if we will, but we could. Maybe one more Christmas miracle rally. And then 2026 is going to be a bear market, in my opinion, just based off of how it's always been. And actually, before I end this video, I do want to, let's just talk about alt season, because we all wanted it. It never really came, but maybe we did actually get alt season, honestly, as sad as it sounds, because alt season peaked at the levels that we're at right now. In 2021, that euphoria phase, the amount of money that was in altcoins is the same amount of money that's been in altcoins, for kind of a while. We hit this level in November of 2024, and we hit it again a few weeks ago in October 2025. It's the same amount of money. But why is it that the coins didn't go as much up? In my opinion, is because there's just way more coins out there now. So if we go to CoinMarketCap, you can just see there are so many of these coins that have crazy market caps that just weren't around. Like Hyperliquid, that was not there in 2021. And that's 13 billion. Imagine if this 13 billion was like in ADA. Then ADA would be at 34, right? Same with like Leo. I don't remember seeing Leo. I don't know what Athena is. Sui wasn't there. Mantle, BitSensor, Canton, like all of these coins in here that have like really big, like pretty big, not like huge, but pretty big market caps, they were not around. Pepe wasn't there. There's so many of these coins that just weren't around. Pump. And because there's just way more coins, it's just way more spread out. So things just aren't rallying as much because, money's being placed in other places instead of just into like a couple of coins this time. So, maybe we actually did get alt season. Maybe we, it just wasn't the alt season we wanted. I don't know, you could argue that's not true. You could have argued that we should have put in a higher, like we should have gone to like, levels above this level, because last time we went much higher, like the 2017 or the 2017 high, 2021 went way higher than it, right? But this time we should have gone like way higher, but we never did. You can maybe argue that that's valid, but you can maybe also argue that we still did have the same amount of liquidity in altcoins. So yeah, guys, that's really it. That was my thoughts on Bitcoin. We'll see what happens, but I think we do need to prepare for the bear market, because regardless if we get this rally in the end of the year, I do think 2026 will be a bear market anyways. So we just want to prepare, and what we want to do is not play this next cycle like how we played this cycle, right? Like this next cycle, when Bitcoin comes back down to like wherever it goes down to, the plan is we're just gonna buy Bitcoin. If it goes down to 30K, we're just buying a full Bitcoin at 30K. I'm not even kidding. Buy like one Bitcoin if we get the 30K Bitcoin, because Bitcoin in the next cycle will probably go to like, at this point, I do think the next cycle will go to like 200K. So if you buy it at 30K, you're gonna be making 170K. So it's pretty simple now, but maybe we get lucky and we can like get one more rally, sell everything, and then yeah, we just do nothing. So anyways, guys, I'll try to making more videos now. Even though, we're at the end, but yeah, I'm going to be sticking around anyways during the bear market, and that's honestly the time to be sticking around, but we got to play it a lot better this time. I think we will play it a lot better this time because we actually know what we're doing. Like 4 years ago, I didn't really know what I was doing in the market. So yeah, anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video.